Hey everybody. I have a rough idea of what I want to talk about, but I think I'm just going to wing it for the most part. Over the last 6 months, I have gone through some challenges that have made me realize that I strongly resonate with and understand Christ in a way that I never could have before. I never would have imagined I could, that's for sure. To the point where I have some people who've been close to my life who are worried about my mental stability. Fair enough. I've been at that point myself, I'll be honest. But I think someone told me that if you can ask yourself, am I sane? Then you probably are sane. So I guess going by that criteria, I am sane. Though the walk that I've walked, I think, could drive anybody to insanity. I'm not saying that I am Christ or anything like that, so anybody who wants to step into the comments and make jokes like that, you can go ahead. But no, I'm just saying I understand. I know what it's like to have a large group of people want very bad things to happen to me. And on the other hand, or on the same hand, the opposite side of that hand, I know what it's like to turn the other cheek and forgive. I know, for the most part, what he felt like when he was on that cross and he asked Father to forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Coming as from someone who is an ex-Christian, I remember what it was like when people would say they were Christ-like. And I compare that to what I've been through and how I feel now about the whole idea. And I've got to tell you, those I've met in my life, and it's not really to judge per se, I'm not trying to slander them in any way, but I'm saying that they have no idea what it's like to be Christ-like. People who live a comfortable, safe life, who never get out there, get their hands dirty, talking to the homeless, or people who aren't persecuted. And I'm not saying you should be persecuted, but I'm saying if you haven't been persecuted, then you don't know what it's like to be Christ-like. If you haven't been down in the gutters, you don't know what it's like to be Christ-like. Because what it boils down to, folks, is the only way to truly see the light is to truly appreciate it is when things are at their darkest. And most people I've met who are Christians, sure, they're humans. They've been through some things. Everybody's been through some things, but they haven't fell to rock bottom. They don't know what it's like to feel all that hate. I call it opportunities now. Anytime somebody hates me now, it makes me stronger. But I also resonate with Christ in that I know what it's like to survive insurmountable obstacles and to come out of it not looking worse for the wear. Okay, I'm not talking about the crucifixion. Obviously, I've never been crucified. But I do know what it's like to feel every other kind of abuse, torture, pain, whatever. I've been through all of it. And anybody who wants to take a look at my life, I dare say, could not disagree with my claims that I understand him. I resonate with him, and I love and appreciate him more than I would ever have imagined possible. I understand more why he did what he did, how he did what he did. And I hope that what I've been through, like him, can help and inspire others. Because if I can go through what I've been through over the last 50 years, 6 months being probably the most intense, last ones, if I can go through that, then I think anybody can. I spent my whole life being underestimated by family, by so-called friends. None of them thought that I could ever make it through anything, and they enjoyed watching me, seeing if I could make it through stuff that they put me through. I'm thankful for it all now. I'm thankful anytime anybody gives me the evil eye, so to speak, because it's something for me to grow from. It's I don't want to call it a badge of honor, but it almost is a badge of honor. I have done a video that tells a little bit about my life story, so I don't really need to get all into that, but I just want to tell you all that if I can go through what I've been through and be as happy as I am now, be as healthy as I am, because I tell you, 6 months ago I wasn't healthy. I was overweight. I've lost 60 pounds. I was very sick, mentally, physically. Nobody gave me a chance in hell of getting out of what I went through. I didn't give myself a chance in hell of getting through what I went through. It took me actually being thrown out on the streets to do it. Something that would cause the average person to crumple. For me, it just, I don't know. I guess from my point of view, I didn't have any other choice but to try to make the best of it. Giving up and dying wasn't an option for me. Succumbing to the circumstances wasn't an option for me. Continuing with my addictions was not an option for me. Continuing to be unhealthy was not an option for me. It left only one way to go. There's one thing that Dwayne Johnson said that I really liked in a speech that I heard. He said, use adversity as a wall behind you. Put it at your back. That way it leaves you one direction to go, forward. I really like that. And that really stuck to me. And I utilized that. And that was the mentality I adapted when I was thrown out on the streets. I had one way to go. Failure was not an option. And I'll be honest, there were moments where I was crying, cussing, kicking, screaming at God, at everything for what I was going through. But I still trudged forward. I still kept going. I've had times where I've had to sleep in cockroach, ant-infested with needles, broken meth pipe, under a tree type areas. I've been through areas riddled with gang activity, just the worst kinds of areas you could imagine. And faith got me through every single time. Never once was my life put on the line. And I realized that early on. And I realized if Father is going to protect me in these circumstances, that I can get through anything. All I've got to do is just keep moving forward, no matter how painful it is. And it was, because I was so unhealthy. Like I said, I lost 60 pounds. I was considered obese. I was weak because I didn't exercise prior to that. I was eating unhealthy. The first part of my journey actually didn't start out in those seedy areas I was talking about. I started out in Yosemite National Park. And I was carrying a backpack, and I basically went through boot camp. It was a lot like going through some of the military experiences I've heard about. And I would march until I physically could not march anymore, and then I'd rest, and I would eat maybe once, twice a week. And this went on for a couple months. But I never started. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any resources. Anytime I would ask people for money for help, I never got it. But Father always provided for me. He always made sure I found water before I would dehydrate too much. He always made sure I found food before I starved to death. I'm not saying that it was an ideal way to go. No, but my needs were met. Maybe not my wants, but my needs for sure. And after 6 months of that, I look back and I am not even close to being the same person that I was when I started this. I think anybody that knew me back then, if they watch this video, I think they would agree. I don't even think I even really look the same. I think I've actually, instead of gaining in years like a lot of people do, I've seen when they've been on the streets, I've actually seemed to have aged in reverse a little bit. I feel like I have. For the first time in 30 years, I can run, jog, do push-ups. I feel great. And I really want my experiences, like I said, to be able to help somebody out there, to inspire somebody. I truly love you all. And I'm going to leave this message like it is for now. Until next time. Father will inspire me with something to say sometime soon. Yeah. So have a blessed day, everybody. I love you.